Hi, I've actually been applying for so many jobs, but I've not gotten anyone coming back to me saying that I'm shortlisted or not. This is so devastating because I have great academic background and I also have great extracurricular activities, participation, awards, and so on. But why? I think I'm doing some mistakes. Can you please guide me on what I should do to make sure I catch the hiring manager's attention? A very good day, everyone. So today we are going to be talking about a very important topic, that is how to make your CV or resume stand out, just so your hiring manager is going to make you work in that company and you are about to work your dream job. Let's get into the video. So as you know, your resume or CV is the first thing that's going to create the very first impression to this hiring manager or to this employer, right? They want to get someone who really match their vibe in the company and their role, their task that's going to be given out there. They want someone who's going to be fit to actually run this task and hike up the brand or just make the company soar in terms of performance, right? So that is who they're actually looking at. So there are certain ways you can actually steal their heart without trying so hard, and I am actually going to list it all down to you. And just remember to watch until the end of the video, just so you would never ever miss out any tips or hacks that's going to be along the way. So when it comes to CV or resume, I'm always going to be emphasizing on this. First of all, your picture should be beautiful and a high quality picture. And when I say a high quality picture, that does not mean you have to be very strict in your professional face. That's not called professionalism. What I want you to do is to smile in that picture. Smile, because that would actually show that you are very decent and that you are approachable. So when this hiring manager looks at your picture, they're going to be like, oh my god, this person looks decent, looks fresh, looks good, and I think I'll be able to hold conversations with him or her. And make sure there's no grammatical mistakes in your resume. Make sure you articulate all your relevant experiences perfectly. Why did I mention relevant experiences? For example, if you're actually applying for a job at a sales company, you should not be putting your experiences in which you worked at NASA and so on, which is so irrelevant. They wouldn't even care about it. And on the other side, if you're going to apply for a job that's related to IT or technology or AI, you should not be putting your experiences in which you actually was a waiter back then, or you actually emceed 10 programs. I mean, that is so irrelevant to the job that you're actually applying for. However, what you can actually do is take up all the skills that you have actually learned from this job and just put them in the skills section. So your skill is what? Public speaking, because you have done emceeing and so on. And then what else? Waitress, right? So what is your skill? Properly prioritizing customer service and all these kind of things. So you can actually think on that kind of ways. And you have to know one thing, CV or resume is when you have to put all the important points. Why? It's because this hiring manager is not going to be reading word by word, but this hiring manager is actually just going to skim through your CV. Like, I don't know, 2 seconds, just see the picture, whatever important things, next CV, next CV. You think they're going to scan everything out of all the 1,000 CV they're actually getting on a daily basis? No, baby. So that is why I'm saying the picture should be perfect and only all the important relevant working experiences, your quality background should all be listed out there and so on. That is why structuring your CV is really good and is really important. You have to structure it in such a way that it looks organized, systematic. When you actually skim through the CV, you already can go to a section where it says skill. You can already go to the next section which says your educational background. You can go to the section which says your volunteering background. And it just makes the hiring manager to actually see or skim through the important points that they actually need to know. In fact, in comparison to a CV where you do not have all these subtopics and so on, and it's just going to be so messy, even I wouldn't want to hire you. Why? It's because it shows that you're such an unorganized person. You do not know how to structure things, and so how are you going to structure things in our very own company and pledge your growth? Okay, what are the important things that you will certainly need in your CV? Firstly, I'm going to be putting out here, so better listen. Firstly is you have to articulate relevant experiences as mentioned. Second is you have to structure your resume with format. And I do have a few formats in Canva which I really love using it. And I am going to share the link of the specific template in the description box so you guys can help yourself, go edit it, put in your details and blast out to all the companies that you like. And thirdly is you have to showcase skills tailored to that specific industry. So if you're going to apply to a sales company, you should put skills that are related to sales. For an example, communication skills, and then what? Presentation skills, and Word, PowerPoint, and all the skills, right? It's all important. And you shouldn't be putting skills that are irrelevant. For an example, GIS, which is more relevant towards environmental jobs. So I think these are all unnecessary skills that you want to put in, because that's only going to take up more space in your resume. And we normally stick to 1-page resume. The most is 2-page resume, or I would say 2-page CV. Don't go more than that, because as I said, the hiring manager is just not going to look at anything there. It's just 2 seconds, skim through the whole thing, and you're done. Accepted or rejected. I would suggest, or I would strongly tell everyone to never ever put in your personal details like your house location. Do not ever put out your address. Imagine the CV you're actually uploading in hundreds of working career websites and so on. This paper can actually go to the wrong hands. This can go to a scammer's hand, and they might actually come to your house to actually steal stuffs and so on. We don't know about this world. So never ever put your house address, never ever put your identity card number there. Please do not do this mistake. Be very basic. Just put your LinkedIn ID. That will be fine. Or just put the place or the location you're actually staying. Probably if you're staying in Kedah of Malaysia, just put Kedah, Malaysia. Not any street address. Nothing else is necessary. I hope you got this. You do not have to mention your father's full name, your mother's full name, where were they born. No, you're actually revealing too much of personal details. You want to just apply job at a stranger's place, but you know the company's name. So that is exactly what you have to do. Not reveal too much about yourself. Number 5 is remember to highlight all your awards, honors, and things that you've actually achieved along the line. So this will actually make them realize, wow, you're actually quite active. Not only in your academic field, but you're also active in the extracurricular parts of your life. And this is actually great. This is the kind of candidate we want, because we don't want our candidate to just be focused on one specific thing, but we want an all-rounder. So that will be a plus point if you actually list down all the awards or things that you have actually won some medals in. Some might not be very relevant, but it kind of shows that you're actually having this workmanship and you're actually involved in many activities. So that is also good if you actually list down all your volunteering experiences. This will be a plus point. Why? It's because companies nowadays, they actually want people to actually do all this volunteering tasks, right? CSR is very, very important, and if you have a very good volunteering experiences, you can just list them all down, and this hiring manager will certainly like someone like you. Why? It's because they know that you are going to take part in their company activities wholeheartedly. So number 7, I'm just going to point out to candidates who want to apply to a company but on research development basis. So here you can actually list down all the relevant papers, publications, conferences. These are all mandatory. Example, if you want to apply to R&D for this specific company, you can actually list down all this so that they will know that, wow, you have this many papers published. You are actually actively joining conferences, exhibitions, and so on. So this is the kind of relevant stuffs, I would say, skills and experiences that you should actually point out. However, if you're not too much into the R&D, then certainly you can still point out all this, because these are all great achievements, right? This is actually categorized as awards or just your extracurricular activities. So just remember to structure a CV in a right way, just so you know which one they should actually prioritize. The next is always tailor your resume according to the job that you're actually applying to. So what I normally do is I actually have the basic resume, right, in Canva, and then I actually kind of duplicate that into 2 or 3 of the same resume. And the first one is like, I have a list. Okay, the first resume is only for sustainability or environmental based work or career, that I would say. I'll actually edit it all in that way. The second resume, I would say, probably is for temporary part-time jobs, probably as a sales girl, just a simple resume kind of thing. And the third one I have for something else. So you guys can do the same thing in Canva, so you do not have to recreate every single time. So every time you want to add new achievement, edit it in Canva, download the new version as a PDF form. Another thing that's very, very important in CV is your professional summary. I have seen some CV people do not put professional summary, and that is a very big mistake. Why? It's because companies want to see who you are truly from your face and your professional summary, the next thing. Why? It's because that explains more about you, and that, even if it is very brief, but it totally tells what this person is like. For an example, if I want to apply to an environmental basis career or jobs, I'm going to be putting all about environment in my professional summary, saying that I'm truly passionate to make a difference to improving the sustainability around me and so on. So people would know that I am really yearning to make a difference in terms of greening the world and so on. So if you want to apply to an IT basis job, obviously you have got to touch that IT related stuff in your professional summary. And remember, you should never let that go. And in fact, that should be under your picture itself, just so they know how you look and briefly about you. The things that you will certainly need, right, is certainly your full name and then your contact number if you want to put. But if you don't want to put your contact number, just put in your email address, and then you can put your past experiences with career, past jobs, and so on. Never mention your salary in your resume. And also put in your education background, put in your skills, put in your volunteering experiences, put in your professional summary. Languages, if you want, that will be a plus point, because some companies certainly would appreciate someone who can speak more than one language. Like for me, I can speak 3 languages, so I'm certainly going to flaunt that out, right? And then you can also put in the awards, as I mentioned, and anything extra which might actually attract the hiring manager's attention. You can put that out. And remember, the subtopics, just tend to bold that out so people would know that, okay, this is a skills section. Okay, these are the skills. I can just skim through. And then they can also go to the background of education. Okay, this is the background of education. So what am I looking for in this person? I want someone who has environmental background. Okay, I found it. Yeah, this person is shortlisted. Not put a very small font size, because even I am not going to read. Yes, you may have a lot of achievements, but imagine reading a novel with the small print. I'm pretty sure you're not even going to take that book and read in the first place. So if you guys really need assistance, a one-to-one conversation with me on how to improvise your CV, if you have problems of you applying to a lot of jobs, careers, and all these portals, but you are not getting this person coming back to you, you can have a one-to-one session with me. I am more than happy to guide you, and I am actually going to attach a Google form in the description box. So you just need to fill that up, and we will actually be great to go. I am going to guide you from A to Z on how you can actually improvise your CV, and I'm just going to guide you properly, because I've had many students who I've guided, and it really helped them improvise their CV, and I'm totally happy for such things. And I really want your dreams to come true, and I really want you to get your dream job. So I have actually put out all the important points in this video, but of course I can't cover every single thing. I do know that I have actually thought or given the guideline for you to make the best out of all the achievements in your past, right? Just put it all into a CV in a proper structure. So now that you know these main things, you can actually comment what you want me to post next in my next YouTube video. So before that, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, just so you'll be notified when the next time I actually post to YouTube. Thank you so much, and I really hope you guys have a great day. Remember to spread love. I love you guys.